What you're seeing here is our largest spring customer. We ship them 1 million parts a day, and we make over 950 different versions of springs for them. I'll say that again, 1 million parts a day. So while Southern Spring and Stamping is our name, there's much more to us.
So we've added stamping, sheet metal, chassis, enclosures, weldments,
Machining, welding, powder coating, and Swiss parts.
So we can also make assembly. So we can make the materials, we can assemble it, we can put it together, we can package, barcode.
And the good news is we adapt with our customers. That's why we're not just springs anymore.
We're typically known for things that other people can't do or won't do. So we have better people and we have better equipment.
Because at Southern Spring, we want you just to relax. We got your back. We're the first spring manufacturer in Florida, founded in 1957. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. I know it looks like we're at a high-end resort here. That's the way we treat you at Southern Spring and Stamping. I could tell you all the great things we do, or I could show you. Take a walk with me, let's go. So we're a job shop. We make the customer's parts. Now I know our name can be tricky. A lot of people stop at Southern Spring and think all we do is make springs. Springs is just a small portion of what we do. We're about 25% spring, probably 30% stamping, probably 20% sheet metal, and the rest of it's machining. And then with our new division of Swiss turn parts, that's the new division that we're growing. Adding assembly to what we do is kind of made us a one-stop shop for a lot of our customers.
So lots of times we have customers that we've done business with for a long time that use us for just springs or just stampings. When they find out about our added capabilities, that opens a lot of doors and opens a lot of eyes. Remember, we're not just springs.
Most people here have been here for a decent amount of time. The person on the floor has been here 8 to 12 years, managers 20 plus years. This wall you see here is people that are here 25 years or more.
It's like a family. Oh, it's great.
This is a family company and we treat each other like family members.
It's great. It's a great work environment with a lot of good people.
I came actually from Poland. My folks, they were working for Ringling Brothers Circus. My parents was acrobat. They did the hand springs and I do the real springs.
I'm very proud for Made in the USA. It's giving over 60 people here a job. There's a whole ecosystem that benefits from what we do being made here in the US.
So for many years, our core competency was compression springs and wire forms. We can do it from prototype all the way through high production. We specialize in smaller wire, tighter tolerance type, both compression springs and wire forms. We're willing to work with it. We can assist with design. We have lots of capabilities to help you get exactly what you're looking for.
In our wire department, we also offer extension springs, torsion springs, and wire forms. This is a magazine clip for the gun industry, double torsion spring, wire form. We can go up to 1/4 inch in wire diameter, and we can go down to 004, which is about half the thickness of your hair.
The other machine, which one can go to up to 187 wire. They're gonna make large springs, magazine springs for guns and stuff like that. So both those springs are actually used for parachute. And then you got, springs which one are just the regular.
Over here, this equipment here is our coilers. So they're called simplexes. They run over 99% efficient as far as the parts that they make. As they run, they take a picture of every part that they make and self-adjust their own tolerances. On the machine here, this is a high-speed camera, and you can see on the screen it's taking a picture of every single part, and that yellow line will come down and narrow down inside the 2 red lines. Right now, this part is running 92% efficient. The longer it runs, it will get more up to that 99% efficiency. Now, at this point, this is not a spring. This still has to be stress relieved in the oven.
After coiling, you want to stress relieve the spring so it holds, the load and the properties of the spring.
So when you push it down, it will actually go back to where it needs to.
The heating, what it does, it do 2 things. Stress relieve the spring. Say like for music wire, you're gonna heat at 500 degrees for half hour to up to 1 hour. And then you got 17.7 stainless steel, which one will require 900 degrees for 1 hour.
When they're stress relieved with the heat, some of it retracts, some of it moves forward, and you have to have that calculation when it comes off of the machine before it goes into the oven.
So this is a typical compression spring off of one of our coilers. As we run this, we're going directly into an oven, but we're also measuring both the OD and the length of it. Then we'll continually adjust as it runs. So if we can put all of these things together, we can streamline it, control product quality, and have better results for less money. If you're in engineering or purchasing, no matter the weather, it's always springtime here.
A lot of springs have to sit flat in their application, and that's what this entire department does here.
So we're grinding the compression springs top and bottom.
This is called Dorns. The Dorns are the high-end, high tolerance, can run themselves, can load and unload themselves if need be.
You know, on those machines, we can actually do squareness less than 1 degree.
As these wheels go around, they can get out of balance. What will happen is the machine will shut itself down and what's called dress the wheel. It will flatten the wheel back out to, again, give you a higher tolerance, higher precision spring in the end.
So we do have the capability of shop peening. Not all springs need shop peen, but if you need that done, we can do that as well.
Shop peening, what it does 2 things. Relieve the stress from the spring and make the spring so it's not sharp.
And adds longer life to a compression spring.
Now, as it says in our name, Southern Spring and Stamping, we're in the stamping department. This department goes up to 150 tons from 4 thousandths up to a 1/4 inch. As far as the bed goes, we can do about a 42-inch part. Now, we do make parts that are 8 to 12 feet long, they just don't have a cutoff.
So what makes us unique in the stamping world is we can take the design and the ideas, everything from prototype to high production. So this is set up for a low volume run. This is about 4,000 pieces. It hasn't quite gone into production, full production. It's still in a testing phase. So this is what we would call a put and take operation. And the operator is moving the parts through the different stations. If that were to become a high volume job, we can use those same components because it's all built in a modular system, and then we can add it to a high production die.
Majority of our machines are Komatsu, so we can do a progressive die, we can do a single one-off hit. A lot of our stuff can be automated with sensors, different systems, but some of it does have to be done by hand.
So this particular project started out as a low volume prototype. We've incorporated all of those tools and ideas to make this on a complete strip. You can see this is running about 50 strokes a minute, which allows us to make several thousand parts an hour. So this is an example of a product that started its life out being lasered and formed one by one. We've automated it. We can do about 3,000 an hour.
If you want a quality part, it's only as good as the tool that it comes off of. We build all of our tooling in-house. So if you pay for a tool, we maintain that tool for the life of the part. There is no fees for breakage, there's no fees for sharpening. We built it, we maintain it. If we have to build a whole new tool, which we've done before because that tool has worn out over the years, we'll do it free of charge.
We can do design, build, and repair all here at this location. We can also get your dies, repair them to run here in our presses. So this is where we store our dies. We do it a little bit different than most, but each of our dies are barcoded and they're put into the system. That allows us to track the usage of the die, the lifespan of the die, and make sure that you're getting the product that you expect. So a graveyard is where you go to die. But because we have a lifetime warranty on the dies that we build, this is heaven.
So if you're choosing your partner for a spring and stamping company, at least check and see if they have in-house tooling. So over in this department is our Fourslides and Vertislides. You need about 100,000 or more parts before you want to actually put the parts on this machine. A lot of clips and small forms are made, but you can also add tooling inside to the machine. While stamping goes up and down this way, these parts come in this way and have different arms that can adjust to what you need for the different clips. This is our newest department, which are Swiss parts. Now, a lot of people get that confused with the turning department. The Swiss machine, you load the material, it takes care of the entire part, and it spits a good part out at the end, but it can attack both sides. This is only high volume because the machine does all the work. All we're doing is loading the material in, and it's taking care of the rest. This runs lights out, 24 hours a day. We have different shifts that will come in and load this machine, so it continuously runs. As it's running, it's putting a thread on this end of the part, and then on the other end, it's putting this fixture into there. This machine runs 24 hours a day, non-stop, so we can stay ahead for our customer. And this is just another reason why we're not just springs.
This is our machining department. We have 3 Akuma vertical milling centers. We also have pallet changers to make sure that the machine operates as close to 100% as possible.
And this makes it really easy when you want a full assembly, because we may blank out the part in sheet metal, machine it over here, go back to sheet metal for forming, and then take it and powder coat it. Again, everything under one roof.
We machine parts anywhere from something like this for parts this size. This part is done in one operation inside of our machine on a very large 4th axis. This is stainless 316. This is aluminum 6061 T6. And of course we can machine anything required for a full assembly.
To my right is the sheet metal department. Now our laser supplies a lot of this shop. The laser blank can be moved to the sheet metal department, formed with that equipment up there. And this equipment installs different types of hardware, nuts, bolts, PEMs, anything you can think of. Here's the customer's blank off of the laser with countersinking added to it. Then after the equipment is done, here's the customer's part with the hardware installed.
So we do chassis, enclosures, frames, anything from small to very large, in the 6-foot range.
Because we're not just spring.
This is a 6 kilowatt laser that cuts up to 1-inch steel, 3-core aluminum, or 5/8 copper.
It allows us to cut a variety of materials, including reflective materials.
Now as you see, the green tint means it's a fiber laser. They run more efficiently and more accurately than a CO2 laser. Now if you come up here, you can see it in process cutting parts.
Now we use this for a couple different things. One is for standard sheet metal parts. What we can also do is we can take up the 1-inch material and we can cut machine-ready blanks. Saves a lot of time in machining and gets it very close.
This machine can run 400 inches a minute. So that makes it very fast and very efficient for what we need. We've really expanded our welding department in the past few years, and we're going to continue to. We do a lot of aluminum welding too, because the trick is aluminum wants to shift when you're welding. So a lot of that's done by hand. Now we can move a lot of our steel and stainless steel to a robotic welder because it doesn't shift. We can lock it into a jig. So this table will turn. It goes over to the actually welding robotic arm, which is another cobot. Now it's indicated that it's there. The robot moves in to do the weld.
The first thing you'll notice is our quality department is centrally located in our shop.
Because it helps the workflow.
So here we have a Keonc CMM coordinate measuring machine. It can be set up inside a machine so you can do in-process checks so that camera tracks the handheld device anywhere on the part. If we were doing PPM, it would probably not be measurable.
Very few spring companies have an in-house powder coating facility. And that's another reason why we're really not just springs. We can do a part up to about 44 inches in height, which you see here. We do a lot of frames for the water industry, the RO industry. If you need a logo, or if you need text, or multiple colors done on raw material or powder coated material, we have our new UV tabletop metal printer, which can do this right here in-house and do multiple colors at the same time. Southern Spring and Stamping, our place does look like a resort, but that's because that's the way we want to treat you. We want you to feel like you can talk to us. We want you to have that resort experience where you know you're getting the best quality part and the best quality service at the same time. Because the less pain you have with your supplier, the better off you are.